Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm showing off more comic books I've collected from Mountain Treasures, Part 2. Now, if you haven't seen Part 1, the link to that video will be in the description. Now, Mountain Treasures is located in Rutland, Vermont, in the Howe Center. It's like the third building down from the entrance. You can't miss it. It's on the left side. They sell movies, comic books, toys. It's a toy store, but they do sell a lot of comic books. That's what I really like. They have a wide selection of comic books. The prices aren't overpriced. Their prices are pretty good. They're pretty organized, and it's a pretty good toy store. I mean, I said that in Part 1, but I'm just establishing that again in Part 2. Like, I do like this toy store. Now, they're not forcing me to say any of this. This is how I feel, and I like getting comic books there because the comic books are in pretty good condition, and they're pretty good priced. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there. Price good and in good condition. Sounds good to me. If you've noticed, in Part 1, I did get some pretty cool comic books. And in Part 2, you're going to see that throughout me shopping there, I've managed to snag some pretty awesome comic books. Let's get into it. Starting off, we have the sensational Spider-Man 96. Now, this issue is from 1996. This is issue number 64, and this is Kraven's First Hunt. Did you know they are making a live-action Kraven the Hunter movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson, the guy that played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, the guy that played Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass? He's going to be the new Kraven the Hunter. Next, we have What If the Mighty Thor battled Conan the Barbarian. Now, the first season of What If is now available on Disney+, and I actually quite enjoyed the first season of What If. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if? What If was one of my favorite Disney Plus shows and one of my favorite shows of Phase 4. Next, we have Spawn. Now, in my Mall of New Hampshire and Newberry Comics haul, I did get to find King Spawn, which was part of the newer issues. But at Mountain Treasures, I got to find some pretty older Spawn comic books. And my dad's a big Spawn fan. He remembered the movies in the 90s. Well, movie from the 90s. Not that it was very good. This is issue number 18. He's like got all his chains coming out his belt. And he's got his green eyes. And he's rah, like he's mad. He's pissed about something. Next, we have another Spawn issue. This is issue number 7. This is kind of just a standard Spawn. He's kind of just chilling, holding all his weapons. One of the weapons has got fire coming out of it. So I wonder if he's been shooting his weapons a lot. But Spawn, he's got all of the chains around him with all the ammo, his ammo belts on his chest. And this is definitely a comic book issue from the 90s. Spawn was a big thing in the 90s with like the animated cartoon that they did. Well, not that it was a cartoon, it was just animated, swearing and blood. But the Spawn cartoon was pretty good in the 90s. Spawn issue number 7. Next, we have Namor, the Submariner. One of the main reasons why I picked this up is because Namor was basically the big bad villain of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So, you know, shout out to that. I didn't really like that one. The first Black Panther movie was a lot better than the second one. I didn't really like Wakanda Forever. It had issues, and I didn't really like a lot of those issues. And it was just, meh. It was okay. I mean, I will say it was a little bit better than Love and Thunder, but it's not as good as the first Black Panther. It's not. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Not that good. Not that good at all. Namor, the Submariner. This is issue 7. Next, we have Kang the Conqueror. Now, I was actually really glad I got to pick this up at Mountain Treasures because, if you don't know, Kang the Conqueror is the new big bad villain of Phase 5, and he's the big bad villain of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. He can shatter existence and rewrite timelines. That means Kang really likes a lot of the time stuff. That's why he has a time chair. Kang the Conqueror. And this is issue number 4. Second one, we have Independence Day. Now, if you remember from the 90s, Independence Day was a big thing in the 90s. And I didn't know that they did comic book issues for the movie in the 90s. Independence Day, it used a lot of practical effects, and it, still looks pretty good to this day. I mean, I like more of CGI, as long as the CGI looks good. But this movie used a lot of practical effects. Like miniatures. They used a lot of miniatures. Like, they made it look like a big building of the White House, but it was actually just a miniature that somebody built, and then, different camera angles, and they made it look like it was actually the full-size building getting blown up. Miniatures, look them up. They were used in Star Wars Independence Day, and this is the first edition, first issue. And lastly, one of my favorite Xbox IPs, besides Halo, we have Gears of War. Now, I know that this one is really not old as like the 90s, but it's definitely when the first Gears of War came out. Because right here it says December 08. So this probably came out in December of 2008. So I didn't even know that they did Gears of War comic books. So I was pretty excited about this. I was like, nice. I got to snag a first edition Independence Day. Now I get to snag one of my favorite IPs on Xbox. One of them. Halo's pretty good, but Forza's the best. But Gears of War is up there. Gears of War is pretty good in my opinion. And the fifth one was alright, but my favorite Gears of War out of all of them, Gears of War 2. Gears of War, first edition. Alright, that was just me showing off some more comic books I've managed to buy from Mountain Treasures. Don't forget, go check them out. It's a pretty good toy/comic book store. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, don't forget that like and subscribe button. Peace.